Are you a spender or a saver? Are you generous or are you stingy? Are you rich or are you poor? If somebody else looked at your bank statements, what would they say about you? It's interesting how money often shows where our priorities really are. One day, on the way towards Jerusalem, a man stops Jesus and says, "Please tell my brother to share the inheritance with me." Often religious leaders got involved in these kind of disputes, but Jesus refuses to get involved. And he says to the man, "Beware of your greed." He then tells a story about a rich man who owned his own land and who had an abundant harvest. But the man had a problem. His barns weren't big enough. So he knocked down his old barns and built new, bigger barns. And he stored up all of his wealth. He thought, why work now? I'm going to sit back, relax, drink, and be merry. But that same night, as the story goes, the man died. He didn't get to enjoy all the things that he had stored up. Jesus isn't telling us here that we shouldn't save, but he is challenging our attitude towards possessions. See, in verse 21, it says that the rich man had saved up his wealth for himself. In the next passage, Jesus challenges us not to be anxious. With the recent banking fiascos, we can often feel quite anxious and stressful about money and the future. What kind of a pension should we really get? How do we best save our money? Yet amongst all this anxiousness, Jesus tells the disciples to look at the lilies in the field. Look at God's creation and what God provides. The message here is this: God is in control. Now we're called to be wise with the things that God entrusts us with. But how does remembering that God is in control change how we relate to the things that we own? Jesus then has this great line: provide yourselves with purses that will never wear out. Store your treasures in heaven. Let's remember that God is in control. Let's not be anxious. And let's live generous lives, storing our treasure in heaven rather than here on earth.